Swapping camera equipment with the company MPB. You send them some gear, they send you some stuff back, and in this specific case, I got some money in addition to it. I have used them to purchase equipment, but this is the first time doing the swap. Why not sell equipment directly? You've got the time cost benefit, you've got the convenience benefit. In this case, it took 11 days from when I sent it to them. They got it, they calculated everything, they sent me the quote back, I approved it, and then they sent the equipment. I just got the equipment today. I haven't opened the box, I'll be opening the box on here. 6-month warranty on anything that they sell usually. There might be certain limits of like quality. If it's as is, you're probably not going to get a warranty. If you do sell things directly to people like on eBay or whatever, you have to potentially deal with scammers, so you could end up losing out pretty bad on equipment, or if you do it locally, you could be robbed. I do this online video stuff, being able to conveniently, quickly get some value out of current equipment, have something new that I can mess around with, show in videos. That's a big benefit. I also have to calculate taxes and deal with equipment sent to me that's quote unquote free. I still pay tax on the value of it. The simple process like this, I have all the numbers, everything's good to go. The downsides of using a company like MPB, KH, any large company that does used equipment obviously is in value. You're not going to get as much selling to them as you would from a direct buyer. But I mentioned the downsides to that. I personally don't want to deal with it. I have in the past, just not anytime recently because I use KH MPB. I was using a local camera shop for quite a while, but they closed. You can go on their website and start a quote. In this case, it's a little less convenient compared to KH, but it does work. You have to create the quote and then submit it. You get it in their system, and then you can actually go and modify it if you want. Included the Nikon Z 85mm f1.8s, the Nikon Z 50mm f1.8s. So those are the main high value items. In addition to the Nikon 24 to 50mm kit lens, I did get it with the Z5 as a kit, but I'm fine breaking it up just to get a bit more value out of a lens that I don't tend to use too often. They also sold the Nikon Z30 to them with the kit lens and this little microphone wind muff thing that I got from Small Rig, and also this specific camera that I had included the battery charger, which isn't generally included with the camera. I also sold them the 7 Artisan 50mm f1.8. When you add a quoted item, you can select the grade of it. I tended to select the highest grade because generally my equipment is in good condition, but also I feel like setting the bar high is a good idea. And then if they lower it, that's fine, right? But I want to set that bar high for the equipment just in case. Try to get the most value out of it. When sending to MPB, you can have a full process to that. They're going to send you initial quote, you have to approve that, and then you decide how many packages you want to put your stuff in. So you're gonna have to look at your stuff and kind of get an idea of how many will work. In my case, one was fine. I had a really nice chewy box that has got great side panels to it, so that worked. Before packing all of my equipment to send to MPB, I did take photos of all of it. I recorded the entire packing process just in case. You never know. Sure, they're a well-known company and everything, but I don't really trust anyone these days, so that just in case worked out just fine. They did send me the revised quote after they checked out the equipment. The 85mm did change in price. It increased $10 compared to the initial quote, so that's nice. Same thing for the 50mm, around that much. I think it was $8. The one thing that did drop in value was a 7 Artisan 50mm f1.8. Initially it said $92, but they dropped it to excellent condition. The funny thing is that I used that lens once or twice indoors. I might have used it outdoors, but anyways, that lens was very, very new. And maybe they just thought that the focus ring and such were from the factory not great, so they lowered the rating on it. It is what it is, it's fine. I got that quote unquote for free, but I did pay tax on it and spent hours and hours on a video related to it, including the wind muff and the battery charger. The quote went up on the Z30, which is nice. Initially was $295, and then it went up to $345. But yeah, not too bad. So you take that value, and then you subtract anything that you're buying. You go in the system, you can select what you want. So in this case, I selected a Sony ZV-E10 and also a Sony FE24-70 f4 Zeiss lens. That's pretty much the cheapest zoom lens I could find for Sony E-mount. I did select excellent quality for the ZV-10 and good quality for the lens. We'll see how it turns out. I got the box here. I'm going to open it. Here it is. Paper packaging. It's nice to see. More paper packaging. Here to open deal. This is similar to when I bought something from them in the past. That is the ZV-10. Screen looks good. Battery is separate. Battery is just hanging out down there. Looks like an official battery. First test. I'll try one of my batteries. So maybe the battery's just not charged. That's a good sign though. USB-C. It is charging. Got a USB-C cable. This should be the lens. This was good condition, so that's one of the lower ratings. Full-frame lenses are big. Here it is. Yeah, it's a little scuffed up. The lens has been mounted a lot. Well, the zoom's got a little bit of uneven resistance, but that could just be how it is. I wouldn't say there's any creep. This ring seems okay. Nice and smooth. There's a little bit more packing in there. Very nice packaging. Seems like they use environmentally friendly packaging, at least compared to other ones that use plastic stuff. Like I said, the A7S is contrast-based autofocus. So this will probably be my main video rig for hands-on videos because I had wanted to get an A7 III, but in the budget, which doesn't really exist, it made more sense to keep this camera. This also is a pretty decent combination and could work for vlogging situations considering the lens has the optical stabilization, 16 millimeters. Combined it with this camera that has a bunch of video focus features, probably not too bad. And then obviously it's got the flip forward screen. So far, swapping with MPB worked out just fine. I have the equipment that I wanted to get in exchange. They work as far as I can tell at the moment. They have the warranty. It was very convenient. It's pretty quick. And I saved some space in the process as well, which can be good or bad depending on what you're trying to do. But in my case, having specific things that would work well potentially is awesome. And I get to get a little bit of additional value out of my existing stuff. So if you want to do something like that, I'm not sponsored by them. I just wanted to try it out again and see how it worked. It worked. Hope you enjoyed the video. Scott Photography Bonza. Thanks.